Okay, in this recording, we're going to look at how to find the surface area. First of all, we're going to look at prisms, how to find the surface area of prisms. It's quite a tricky topic, this one. So, if you remember from the lesson, when we looked at this topic, the surface area of a 3D shape is the area of all the surfaces added together. So this first shape is a cube. So have a think about a cube. How many faces has a cube got? Cube's got 6 faces, so we can see 3 of them here. Got 3 of the faces, 6 in total. Think about what shape each face is. Let's have a look. So this front face of your cube is a square. So what's the area of this front face? How do you find the area of a square? Base times height. Base is 3 for a square. All the dimensions are the same, so the height is 3. The area of that front face is 9. Each face of your cube is exactly the same. So all your faces of this cube are 9. And as we just discussed, your cube has 6 faces. Each face has an area of 9. And 9 times 6 gives you a total surface area of 54 centimeters squared. Okay, we're going to look at the surface area of a cuboid next. So a cuboid, how many faces has a cuboid got? Yes, it's got 6 faces. So I'm going to look at this face first of all. What shapes make up the faces of your cuboid? They're all rectangles. Let's look at rectangle A. What's the area of this rectangle? Base times height, 3 times 4, 12 centimeters squared. Now, if you see, this face here is exactly the same as that face at the back. You've got 2 faces on your cuboid, have an area of 12, so I'm going to double that figure. So now let's have a look at this side face here. We call it shape B. That rectangle has a base of 6 and a height of 3, which is 18. Now that face is exactly the same as that side one there. So I'm going to double it. Okay, now we've got 2 faces, 2 faces. We need this top face, which is the same as the bottom face. This is a rectangle, base of 6, height of 4. So the area of that rectangle is 24 centimeters squared. That's the same one as this bottom rectangle here you can't see. So we're going to double 24 to get 48. Now to get the total surface area, we need to add up these values, which gives us total surface area of 108 centimeters squared. Now, lastly, we're going to look at this triangular prism. We need the area of all the faces. That face is a triangle there. What's the area of that triangle? Base times height divided by 2. 5 times 6 divided by 2 gives you 15. That's exactly the same as that triangle on the other end of my triangular prism. We're going to double that, which gives you 30 centimeters squared. Okay, now what about this face here? Sorry, let me just give you, I need to give you another dimension here, 1 second. I'm going to give you that length here is 8 centimeters. Let's put it in a colour you can actually see. Okay, so we're going to look at this rectangle next. What's the area of this rectangle? Base times height. The height base is 20. Height is 8. 20 times 8 is 160. Now let's have a look at this rectangle at the bottom you can't see. The base of that rectangle is 20. You can see the height 6. So 20 times 6, 120. And then we want this side rectangle again. You can't really see, but it's got a height of 5 and it's got a base of 20. We call that D. 20 times 5 gives you 100. So let's just check that. Our triangular prism, you've got 3 rectangles and then 2 triangles at each end. You've got 15 and 15, which is included here. We just highlight that. That's the 2 triangles at each end. We've got that's 1 rectangle, 2nd rectangle, 3rd rectangle. So you need to add up all of those. Which gives you your total surface area is 410 centimetres squared. Okay, so can you have a go at these 3 questions, please? I need to change the dimensions because they're exactly the same. Let me just bear with me while I change all of these. Once I've changed them, can you find the surface area of these 3 prisms, please? Okay, so if you could put me on pause and unpause when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, we're going to start with our cube, square at the front. What's the area of this square? 7 times 7 is 49. It's got 6 faces, each have an area of 49. So our total surface area is 294 centimetres squared. Okay, for our rectangle, let me just call each face A, for our cuboid, sorry, let me call each face A, B, and C. So the rectangle A is an area of 12. That's the same as the back one. I'm going to double it. We've got rectangle B as an area of 20, which is the same as the side one here. And rectangle at the top there, 10 times 6, same as the bottom. Add these 3 values together, 184 centimetres squared. Okay, you've got your triangle here, base times height divided by 2, 3 times 4 is 12, 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's the same as the back triangle, so I'm going to double it. Rectangle B, 10 times 5, 50. Rectangle C at the bottom, 4 times 10, 40. And rectangle C at the side here, 3 times 10, 30. Now, so I've got my 2 triangles and my 3 rectangles. Let me add all of those together. Gives me my total surface area is 132 centimetres squared. Okay, now let's just let's look at an extension to this topic, which again, this is again a bit more difficult. So this is looking at kind of grade 5 questions on surface area. How do we find the surface area of a cylinder? So if you look at a cylinder, what shape has it got on each end? It's got a circle. And around the centre, you've got a rectangle. But can you see in your formula sheet at the front of your exam, you're actually given the curved surface area of a cylinder, which actually represents this bit here. You don't have to remember that. So can you see here? This is my curved surface area. Let's use this little formula, 2 pi RH. So I'm just going to put the curved bit here. It's 2 times pi times r times h. Okay. What is r? Look at this cylinder here. My radius is 4. My height is 10. Just type all of that into your calculator. And we get 251.3. What if they want the total surface area? Well, we need to include this circle on the top and the circle on the bottom. What's the formula to find the area of a circle? Just have a little think. Yep, it's pi r squared. R is 4. Pi times 4 squared is 50.3. Now, there's a circle at the top, there's a circle at the bottom, so we're going to times that by 2. I'm just going to write it as 50.3. I'm going to write it as my circle, add my curved surface area. So that's the top one, the bottom one, and around the middle. That's going to give you the total surface area, which is 351.9. Now let's just look at the second one. The only difference here is you're given the diameter instead of the radius. So just be aware of that. That measurement all across the middle of your circle is the diameter. So let's write the radius equals 5. So again, I'm going to get my curved bit first. I'm going to use my formula, 2 times pi times r times h. I'm going to make sure I use my radius of 5. 2 times pi times 5. The height of your cylinder is 9. And we get 282.7. So what about the circle? Pi times radius squared. What is my radius? 5. Pi times 5 squared. 78.5. So I've got my circle at the top. I need to include my circle at the bottom, which is exactly the same, and my curved bit. Gives me an answer of 439.7. Okay, so now can you have a go at these 2 questions, please? Put me on pause, and when you're ready, we'll go through the answers. Okay, so for this first one, the curved bit, you should have had 2 times 3, just put in the right order, 2 times pi times 3 times 6, which is 113.1. Circle at the top, pi times 3 squared, 28.3. So I need my circle, plus my circle, plus my curved. Gives you an answer of 169.7. And let's look at this last one. So this last one again, you're given the diameter. So let's make a note of this. Radius is 5. So for your curved bit, 2 times pi times 5 times 6 gives you 188.5. Your circle, the area is pi times r squared, pi times 5 squared. 78.5. Got a circle, plus your circle, plus your curved bit, gives you total surface area of 275.5 centimetres squared. Well done if you got those questions right, because they are at the higher level. Okay, thanks for listening.